YouTube, this is Cover 2 Credits, and today we got to see Doctor Strange.
It just opened, and decent crowd for a 10 a.m. show where we are.
Middle of nowhere. And I didn't really know how to feel about this movie.
I didn't either.
But I didn't know how to feel about a lot of movies.
I enjoyed this movie. I will say that it's a fun movie to watch. Do you agree that it's fun or no?
Yes.
There's some pretty funny jokes in this movie.
I actually like this movie a lot.
I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I felt like, and I know this sounds bad, but it's like, we'll get to the only issue I might have had. There's only really one. But, so from the beginning, you didn't know much about Doctor Strange other than what we've seen in the trailers, right?
No.
Me either. I knew very little about him. Now, I do know a couple names of a couple villains, and because of that, I knew something that was going to happen eventually. But, I enjoyed pretty much every actor in this movie. I thought Tilda Swinton was great as the Ancient One, and I know a lot of people were worried about that. I thought
Bad casting.
Really? For her?
I mean, she did a good job with it. I'm not saying she did a bad job acting it. I'm just saying that's a bad cast move.
Why do you say that, though?
Because you need to make the Ancient One Asian, first
I don't think you have to. Because
I think you do.
Because in theory, it was supposed to be that she's androgynous enough that you don't... There's not... You know what I mean? And they said she was Celtic. Like, they made that statement in the movie. Mm-hmm. So it's like, at least they pointed out that it wasn't just supposed to be, like, the token person for the hell of it.
I guess.
But I agree. They could have done it either way. I was glad... I really enjoyed Wong's character. Mm-hmm. I like that character a lot. I know in the comic, Wong is almost more of a servant. But I like the way they wrote this. I like that a lot. And he played it very well. Mordor was good. Chiwetel Ejiofor. He played that part very, very well. Obviously, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch was
He
really
kills
good.
everything.
Huh?
He kills everything.
He really does. He just knocks it out of the park.
The things I really like about the story. One, I like the way the magic system works. In that it sort of gives it that wuxia feeling.
Yeah,
after the internet yelled at me and told me how to pronounce it properly.
You are right.
And that I like. I'm a big fan of those types of books, and I like the sort of struggle that he goes through with himself in becoming a better person. And he goes from, sort of the Tony Stark playboy to a reasonable human being and not... What's the word? I guess he sort of overcomes that in himself. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's obviously still there and you can see it in him, but he makes it work. And to me, that gave the story a lot of something that it normally wouldn't have. I mean...
That fight by itself with himself gave that a lot more substance.
And like I said, and it made this movie from another superhero movie, and we've had so many now. So many. We're getting to we're watching Doctor Strange. That should say a lot about what we've got.
But everybody keeps saying we're getting to the limit. We're not really. Everybody still goes and sees these movies, and they still, granted, it's getting to where we as viewers are asking for better, because you can see with DC's struggles that...
Well, I knew DC was going to suck. I've been telling you that. I told you that forever, that it was going to suck. I told you, and I told you, and I told you it was going to suck.
But Marvel itself is even like... There's comic book movies, and then there's Marvel comic book movies. They're not necessarily... It's not the same thing when you go watch it, when you went and watched Suicide Squad. You're not looking for the same things. Yeah. Or Batman vs. Superman, because no one knew what that was going to be. Mm-hmm. I will say this when we're talking about DC, I still have hope for Wonder Woman. They just put out a new trailer. I put it up on our Facebook page. Go take a look. I still have hope for that movie. We don't know, and who knows. But back to Doctor Strange. Good Stan Lee cameo. I guess they said they filmed like 6 of those with him in like a 2-week period, because I think they're afraid he may not be around for some of these movies. He is like 93.
Yeah.
But because the guy's on his last year of cons, and so I think they figured, but I thought that was a good thing. Mads Mikkelsen, the bad guy. I like Mads Mikkelsen a lot. Played a good Hannibal from what I hear. He's going to be in Rogue One. Looks like a pretty good part. We got a trailer for that before this movie. That was nice. He plays a good part. For the life of me right now, I cannot think of his character's name.
We need to wrap this anyway. We're going too long.
Well, we're getting to the... So,
What did
the
you
acting
like?
is good. What didn't I like?
Yes.
I didn't like the way they got rid of the villain. Build a fight, and build a fight, and build a fight. And then you're going to pull Marvel, and there's not going to be a fight.
Well, you can't really fight that, though.
They had up until then. They literally killed a man earlier. Not a spoiler, it's just saying.
Yeah, well, like I said,
I mean, I understand why they did it that way. I'm just saying that's the only argument I'll have. Because a lot of people complain Marvel doesn't do villains other than Loki that well.
Yeah, this villain wasn't that great.
I mean, the character was cool, and Mikkelsen plays him well. And, like, seeing the things they do, the visual in this movie are amazing. This is definitely a movie I think I might come back and see in 3D. So I've heard this is just
I feel like
insane.
watching this movie in 3D would be a good way to puke all over everything.
Dude. They said they're like, you're going to feel like you're on an acid trip.
I would feel like I would vomit all over everything.
But it is visually
let's,
awesome.
let's wrap this. Like I said,
Okay.
we need to keep our videos more concise.
I know.
Rating.
8.
See, I give all the Marvel movies an 8 though.
I know.
And I feel like, but their quality is so consistently good though. And same with this movie. This is a movie that could have been not good. And like I said, the villain was the villain wasn't that good.
The explanation of the world it's in was great.
Yes.
Explaining they were teaching, explaining the magic.
All that is really cool.
Is
in this
great.
movie.
And that could have been terrible.
Not a good villain. Not a good villain. But like I said, this movie was not really about the villain. It was about it was an origin story.
It was.
And
but it was also
it did that extremely well.
Yeah, it was better than what I thought it would be.
So I'm gonna have to give it an 8.
I will say this: 2 after credit scenes, one of which might be one of the better ones they've had. The first one. The second one was what I was telling you about, where I knew a character's name, and I knew that was eventually going to come. But either way, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I said,
so stay for both of them.
Good movie, not a great villain.
Visuals are amazing.
The origin story itself, I thought, was one of the better ones I've seen out of Marvel and comic books.
Definitely. See this movie in the theaters. The visuals on the big screen are awesome. 2D or 3D. If you don't like 3D, don't see
Unless
it.
you've got one of those like 80-inch Aqueous ones.
Yeah, with the curved screen.
If you've got that at home, you probably don't need a movie anyway. And you paid enough for that TV that you can vouch out of a few movie tickets.
That's true. Wait till it comes
So
out.
I tip my hat to you. But so watch the movie. It's good. It's not great, but like I said, Marvel's quality is consistent.
And this is right with it.
This movie could have slumped and didn't. I thought it did its thing.
Yep. So, you've heard what we had to say. If you see this movie, which I hope you do, comment below. Tell us what you guys think. Give us a like if you enjoyed the review or enjoyed the movie. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Cover to Credits. I'm trying to keep up with both of those. Throughout the week, I'm adding things to Facebook if I find them that are interesting. New trailers, news, whatever. And next Monday, we'll be back with another video. But until next time...
Thanks for saying the life of the credits.